Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleague. It's my pleasure to be delivering this, discussion this evening. And my name is Ayo Adeyemi. I'm a partner at Lorach Consulting. And at Lorach Consulting, basically, what we do is, recruitment, training, background check, sourcing, and strategy and processing. Okay, I'll be discussing or leading the discussion this evening on what I've titled "Taking the Lead, Navigating to the, your next level or to your desired level." All right, so I'll be taking us through my slide and I'll be discussing, as we go on this journey. All right, so lead from where you are is one of the things that's very essential in our discussion tonight. We must understand that wherever we find ourselves, whatever position or responsibility that be assigned to us, we must be able to lead from wherever you are. You don't need to be the MD, as it were, in wherever you work to know that you are leading. For every responsibility or assignment that will be placed into your hand, you are supposed to lead and lead others. Lead yourself and then lead others. So we must be responsible. Several skills are necessary to climb the corporate ladders or to get to the top of all the organization or wherever level you desire. But the best thing you must do is to take responsibility for your own career success, because it's about you first. Okay, so we're going to dwell about who you are, your person, and how you can position yourself, and then you can take advantage of opportunity that they're in. All right, so you have a significant number of competitors, and competitors are some of your colleagues also as well that are even as more qualified, or you are either on the same level, and everybody desire next level promotion. And that is why we always feel that there's need for those assessments so that people can then be moved to the next level. So if you want success, then you have to work all the way up to get your success. Okay, so I'll start by saying evaluating yourself. All right, it's very important to evaluate your personal goals, because I believe at this point we have goals. All right, so I will not be dwelling about setting goals. I'll be talking about those goals that you have set, either right from the beginning of the year or right from when you took up that responsibility or took up that job. So the important thing for you is to ensure that you evaluate those goals. Evaluate those goals as to where are you now, all right? What were your biggest achievement thus far? All right, so highlight them, what you have achieved in the past years, and then what are your strengths. All right, okay, then we also need to understand what are your weaknesses, because what we are talking about is you want to take a lead, you want to navigate to the top. All right, so you need to do some assessment for yourself. Where do you want to be in the next 1 year? Also, these are some of the parameters you must set for yourself in evaluating yourself. And finally, I would say, where does your boss or your manager think you should be? I mean, whoever you are accountable to. All right, where do they desire that you should be by now? So these are some of the things you need to bring to bear in doing that. I'm also talking about evaluating the corporate opportunities. Okay, so you work in a system, all right, but it does not necessarily mean that where you work is really where you feel that you're going to ride to get to the top. But the reality is that you work in a corporate environment, especially where you work presently. So evaluate that your organization. The most opportunities are available to you, the better you are. So you must understand, for you to climb the corporate ladder, for you to navigate to the top, are there opportunities. So when you evaluate your corporate or your organization, look at where are the opportunities. So how do you then intend to climb those corporate ladder, or that climb or ride to the top? So you must be able to see, are there opportunities anywhere? Is it in your direct department or another department, or how do you want to cross to move to the next level? Because if there's no opportunity, then it does mean that you are perhaps approaching the end of a career at that organization. So then you begin to think that perhaps your movement to the top, your navigation to the next level, to a higher level, will not happen here. So, but until you evaluate, you may not be too sure that really you are on the right path. So it's important. And then I also want to talk about what I call hone your narrative. Okay, it's very important for you to own that your personal narrative. And what am I saying about that? It's very important to help in the first, perhaps added part. Okay, frame your story. You need to create perhaps what I would call your personal brand, your personal image. How do people see you? How do they perceive you? How have you presented yourself? Who do they say you are? Okay, because the important thing here is that you must see yourself as a product. Okay, so because you are seeing a product that is available or have some things to offer, all right, to the market. So when you look at that, and then you'll be able to define, all right, create a brand, distinguish yourself, let people see you, let them have a perception about you, let them see you, whatever you have defined to be your narrative must be seen. And what I will also say is that then you must treat managers, I would say co-worker, either superior or even your subordinate, you must treat them well. Treat them as your customer. We must understand that we have the internal and external customer. Okay, sometimes we pay most of the attention to the external customer, which really is very important, because they are the people that brings in the revenue that buy the product of the organization. But they also buy us as a product, because for instance, if you work in the marketing department, you will understand that most of the customer you convince to patronize the company, they first believe in you. So you sometimes seems to be the one owning them, right, before they believe in the organization. That is why sometimes when people change job, when they move from where they are now, where they are working now, it appears that some of those customers want to follow them. So what am I saying? You must treat your co-worker, your managers, your superiors as if they are your customer, because they are actually your customer indeed. All right, so you must be able to look at who are they, determine who are these people, what are their role. All right, you must be able to look what drives them. Okay, what appreciate whatever you are doing. You must be able to articulate what are their top challenges and aspirations. All right, because remember, get me right, they not as if you are going to worship them, but you must understand who you are dealing with, because they are your customers. Because when you understand who you are dealing with, you also need to understand that they are people that perhaps that will assess you. All right, so your performance evaluation also, we have a lot to do with them. So you must be able to understand, define it. What traits do they most value? All of these are what you should ensure that you're able to determine and get right, even as you work with your colleagues. And you must also be able to think, like I said again, place yourself as a product. All right, think of yourself as a product to serve your customers. Okay, think yourself as a product to serve your customer, because when you think yourself as a product to serve your customer, then you will determine what kind of product you want to be before your customer. Okay, so what kind of solution you want to bring to table, what kind of person you want them to see. Are you the best product they can buy? What that mean? You're working with people, are they seeing you as the most distinguished person in the entire organization, that they believe that they won't come to the get solution? When there are problems, they designate you to handle it, and they feel at home that they will get results. So this is very important for you, in seeing yourself as a product that has come to solve a problem. All right, so you must be able to create that perception, for who you are, that they will see you as okay, that guy is a result-oriented person. Because we paint ourselves like, which is good. We give ourselves a lot of qualification, a lot of description, but how do people see us? How do people that we work with, that we expect to be serving, see us? So it's very important we get that right. Okay, the next one I will talk about, I will say, is that you keep learning. Be curious about wanting to know something about something. It's very important. Like what we are doing now is part of learning. So, but it's also very essential to keep learning. Open yourself up to information. Open yourself up to opportunities to learn new things. And I will say this: know something about everything. Okay, whether you work in HR, there's need for you to understand what happened in production line. Because when you do that, you'll be able to appreciate that line of business. And then because you want to be the top, you want to be the MD, you want to be the number one man. All right, so you must know something about everything. You don't say, I'm an HR, I care less about what the accountants are doing. Then you are not telling us that you are ready. Okay, because part of your readiness is what happens in other departments. How much of involvement are you? How much of understanding do you know? How can you then appreciate the job of other people, of your colleagues that are not in the same direct department with you? So it's very important for whoever that wants to find himself at the top. Okay, so I also want to let you know that there's need for you again to be efficient at doing your own core job. Okay, when I say have an idea about what happened in other section, other department, about the entire organization, but one thing is very essential: how efficient are you at doing your own very core job? No, we talk about effectiveness and efficient, but you can be effective and not efficient. But I'm also emphasizing here right now that it's important for you to be efficient. Okay, pay attention to the details. Okay, give your very maximum best to your core, because like your KPI will be set on your core. All right, whilst you want to help and support other teams, you want to assist other groups, is very important for you to be extremely good and excellent and efficient at your core responsibility that are assigned to you, the core that are assigned to you, more important. Okay, I also say that find a way to get invited to the important meetings or important activities where decisions are made. Now, this is not given. All right, it is because it only can come as a result of your performance or your relevance, or how you have been able to position yourself. Remember, I said if you are a product and the product is very relevant for use at all time, no one will dump that kind of product, because you always want to get that product close to you, wherever you are, and get it used. All right. So what am I saying in essence is that if you position yourself well, then you have that opportunity to be invited to important places, important meetings. When they need to solve certain problem, they will remember you, because they know that you have positioned yourself for to be a solution, and then people will always care by you. Okay, so also need to understand that you need to make sure that your name is on the work you have done or significantly contributed to. What am I saying? When you are part of a team, when you are part of solution, find a way to impress your image. It could be an assignment given to you to work on a proposal and what have you. Find a way to make it known that you have worked on it. Because why? When there's need for recommendations, when there's need for some form of perhaps opportunity even for promotion, some of the works of your hands, some of the things you have done will be make reference to. Right? So you need to be able to find a way of impressing your name on the things you have done. It could be clear written, and it could be by some other avenues where you can say that for this particular thing, I know this person must be involved, and it does happen in organization. Because why? You are taking the lead, and when you take a lead, you must be seen in the front. And the only one we can be straight from without blowing your trumpet, really, without being proud, is by ensuring that everything you do stand out. Okay, so the next one I'll talk about is build, grow, and maintain your professional network. This is very important for us. We work from different organizations from time to time. How much of build, how much of how do you maintain, how much of attention do you pay to your previous colleagues, to your even when you're working right now? Because what happens is that we use people and then we move on and we feel that we are done. But if you maintain your relationship, and I can say this to you, some of the people I've worked with at a point in time have actually recommended me for some opportunity. Okay, because why? There's still that relationship, there's still that understanding, and I still water some of those relationships, and it comes back. So keep your professional network. I mean, some of the people that we join CIPM together, for instance, I see occasionally send them messages, all right, just to keep relationship and professional network, and that's very important. That's what we are doing too, even with our branch, all right, by keeping relationship and network, because you never can tell when the opportunity will come, all right. So, but when you have an ongoing relationship and interaction, and don't always expect, also make room to give. It could just be some form of text message you send around, especially this period we are. Remember somebody and just appreciate them. Before you know it, you say, I've been even trying to get across to you, because you have made an attempt or you have done something so different. And then they say, I remember there's this project, and then you can be invited to it. So keep your relationship healthy. All right. I also recommend that as part of way of getting or navigating your way to the top, that you need someone that you can rely on, that can be a true mentor. All right, you need a mentor. You need a mentor, maybe preferably in your industry or even a similar organization. You cannot get where you work right now. The reason why some people have walked that journey, so you don't need to sweat it out. All you need to do is leverage on their advices, leverage on their experience, so that you can get to the top without you having to sweat it out the way they sweat it out. And that is the essence of mentoring. Okay, not because you are expecting them to start giving you, some things, or they spoon feeding you, but you can leverage on their experience, exposure, and then be able to achieve that which you want to achieve. So there's this saying I said, don't ask for money, get advice. Ask for advice, get money twice or double. All right, so find a mentor along that industry, along that path, along that career path is very important, because you don't want to make mistake they have made. So they made that mistake, they learn from it, they already share with you, and then you can move on from there. Then the next one I'll talk about is also, you need to make it very, very easy for your superior to be able to recommend you or even promote you. Sometimes we make it difficult, even when we are performing at our maximum, and our manager is trying to weigh in and balance things. And like, yes, you have good skill, you have good experience, but attitude is a problem. So it sometimes can be difficult. So I will encourage, part of the way to take the lead and navigate to the top is to be able to ensure that everyone around you will not be having too much complexity about who you are. They will not be able to, he's good at this, but he's not good at this. Make it very easy, and it is possible. It is possible if you are able to pay attention to that which is most important and leave those things that are not consequential, that are not necessary. All right, by focusing on your job, doing that which is expected of you, pay attention to the things that are most important. All right, you make it easy for your manager, all right, to be able to promote. I also want to emphasize this: stay away from office gossips. All right, it is not everything that you see that you talk about. In fact, it's not everything they bring to you that you want to contribute. It's not important. And I also want to say that stay away also from office politics. It sucks, but it's everywhere, and sometimes it matters. But try to stay focused on the common goal and own your own objectives. Define yourself, because when you're able to distinguish yourself, people know you for who you are, and they give it to you the way you are. They don't bring rubbish to your team, they don't bring it to your attention, because they know that you are not interested. But if all that you want to do is talk about other people's, talk about people and bring them down, and then you want to play some of those dirty office politics, then you get yourself into serious trouble. Because by the time they announce, for instance, that the next MD is so and so, some people that you have been gossiping together will like, is it not that guy, is it not this woman, is it not? So you need to be able to focus on that which is important. Get your objective right, get your goals going, and then be able to get out. I mean, what I also want to encourage is that I said get out of the building whenever you can. All right, I've said this earlier, but I want to emphasize this: don't get stuck to your chair, to your table. Move around. In fact, if possible, move out beyond your organization to see what opportunity abound. Get out. Don't just get stuck. Don't keep yourself there. Don't let it be like, okay, my job is just internally, and then so I have no business outside. There are things you need to also learn and know. In fact, yes, you may not have a direct interface with the customer, you may not have direct interface with the suppliers, but you need to have an idea of what goes around in the organization. All right? When I talk about product knowledge, I like to emphasize the part that you need to know your business, as in your organization, in details, know the industry, know the sector, know who are the competitors. There's a way it adds values to you. In fact, when you have to make contribution at some meetings, it helps you flow, because you have an idea of what goes around in the industry. You don't just talk based on as an accountant, and these are the regulatory. You talk beyond that, because you are able to move around to also understand what entirely happens within the industry, within the business. So it's very important, and I want to encourage that you leverage on that. I also want to say that don't burn the bridges. I said this earlier, paraphrasing it, don't burn the bridges, okay? It's fine to have people in your past that disagree with you, or that you do not want to work with again, all right? But the truth is that do your best to maintain good working professional relationship. I must say to you that people that offended me, I've worked with people that I felt like, I don't want them to cross my path again. But the fact is that when there are opportunities, or perhaps we cross paths, I leave those things in the past. I try to just move on. You know why? Nobody knows who will be at what point tomorrow. So we can say it, yes, I will never have anything to do with you, but if God says you still have so much to do together, what can you do? All right, so learn not to burn your bridges. The world is very small. You never know who we bump into again. All right, you need to understand that treat people well and you always get same in return. It's just that, like, sometimes you call it law of karma, but the truth is that don't burn your bridges. All right, don't be like people who say never again, I would not want to see you over your dead body and what of things. Those things are not, because if you have reasons, I mean, let's take for example, recently the new chief of staff was appointed. Some people dig out some information as to he has worked with him before in 19 some years, 30 years ago. If the guy had burned the bridges, when this opportunity comes, do you think you'll be less ready to call on? No. All right, so I also want to emphasize and advise on this, because you are trying to take the lead, and mind you, I've emphasized that you're a product and you are trying to present. I love somebody that probably, let me just mention him here. You know, when I when I begin to notice him, I try to do a little bit of research about him. He doesn't even know, and most of us may know him, Yemi Fashion, and I tried to Google about him, and I saw he has a website. I saw his account on LinkedIn, and I get a bit interested in wanting to know him. And not quite long, I have an event, a training, and I invited him. All right, and beyond, I must say, beyond his profile, that an average person you feel perhaps at this level will begin to have some form of classes and what have you. It was very receptive, and we'll be able to do something together, and we're going to do much more. So for me, it starts from when people begin to notice you. They want to find out about you. You don't know how many people Google about you. You don't know how many people go to your LinkedIn. But if you don't have any online presence, and then you are saying you want to take the lead, and you are saying you want to navigate to the top, how? People want to read about you. They want to make some findings about you. So it's important for you to invest online. And I'm sure that your organization will not ask you not to have your own personal website, or even use a blog that says some things about you. You're not selling anything, but you are selling yourself. You are the product. All right. So there's nothing stopping you, and it's not expensive. All right. Your Facebook, is it detailed enough? LinkedIn, is it detailed enough? All of those social media are some of the tools we should leverage on, but to boost our profile, to boost our presence, because we are a product. If you are not known as a product, nobody patronizes you. All right. People want to associate with someone that they feel that got value. So for you to have value, and if you have one, people want to be able to have, where they can locate your value. So it's very important you leverage on that. And I also say actively manage expectation. It's very important. We all have expectation. All right, don't let your expectation drive you crazy. Don't let it drive you to the point that you begin to be sentimental, be biased. All right, because why? It's an expectation. It's a desire. If it's not happening now, it may happen later. Don't get exhausted. Don't get exasperated. Okay, manage it. Be very conscious about the things you do, and be very mindful about the steps you take from time to time. It's very essential. Okay, and if your expectations are not coming to reality and there are setbacks, please flow through it. Enjoy that moment of your setback. It's not the end, it's just a bend. Don't kill or condemn yourself, and then don't begin to attribute that failure, that setback, to the people in the village. Is that woman in the village that is doing me? No, there's no more woman in any village. It is you that is the woman in the village. So what you should understand is that what happened, at what point, how did you miss it, what caused it? Some people are losing job now. What has caused it? The pandemic is part of it. But what you must know is that pandemic is immediate cause. There most likely have been some other remote cause for some people. Actually, may not be for everybody. Okay, because if we have 50 staff and they have to downsize to 25, all right, they won't just come and say 25 just go. There will be some team that will account for those decisions upon each of everyone that will be affected. All right, what I'm saying is that yes, perhaps the company will be willing to let go, but pandemic is here. It's the major cause. All right, but again, there are other yardsticks that will be looked at. All right, so when there are challenges, when there are setbacks, just dust it off, brace up. That's not the end. That you fail does not mean you are going to permanently be on the floor. It's just a challenge. All right, rise up again. There are many challenges, setback I've gotten personally, but I always look at what is the next light, where is the next opportunity, and I move on, because that's what has to be. Setback is part of the arrangement to get you to set forward, to set forth. So don't see it as the end. It's just a bend, and you can actually get to the next level when you focus. So conclusively, I want to say critical turning point occur throughout a person's life and career. Right? The decision you make or don't make can have lifelong impact on your career, happiness, and fulfillment. All right. So why don't you just make those decisions? Why don't you identify those things that will move you forward, that will get you to the next level? Is very important. You need to make decisions, and every day, even when you do not deliberately make decisions, consciously make those decisions are made. And one thing that I've understood and I've got to realize that when you do not take time to make those personal decisions, some people make those decisions on your behalf. You know why? You have been on this job for 5-10 years and there's no any improvement, and you are assuming that people will wait for you. They will make decisions for you that, look, since you are not progressing, let's get somebody else to supervise you, because we are sure probably you don't know so many other things, and what you know is now archaic. All right. So unfortunately, few decisions are irreversible. So a single mistake doesn't define your life or limit your future opportunity. Be bold in setting your goals and resilient when setbacks appear. Okay, so my encouragement to take the lead and to navigate to the next level. There are obstacles, but what is important is perform what I would call SWOT analysis on yourself. It's about you first. When you are able to balance it out on your own level, then you understand the system you are, or the industry you are, or the environment you operate for, and then be able to know what needs to be done. Sometimes we desire to be the MD. How much of information you know that the MD know, or that you know that the MD knows that you know? How much of involved in developmental effort as the person superior to you are put in place that you have done? Because most of us sometimes want to enjoy that favoritism, but it doesn't last. It doesn't last. You could get it. You could be very privileged, somebody just help you promote you, but the truth is that when the test of time comes on that job, what do you have? What can you give? So I want to encourage, please ensure that you continue to work to develop yourself, ensure to work, improve on yourself, on your skill, and everything around you. Know something about something, and when you keep on to do that, you can sure that you get the best. And we work with people that you work with are part of people that will give testimony about you, will say something about you, and when you are not there, they have things to say. When you are there, they have things to say. So why don't you just be that people's person that will be willing to support others, and you get support from others, and then you can be the best that you can, in whatever you do. So with these few I've been able to share with us, I believe we're able to gain one or two things, and then I'll be open for discussion, even as we engage ourselves. So thank you, and I wish you all the best in your career endeavor, even as you take the lead right now, and then you navigate to the next level in your career, your endeavors. I wish you all the best. Thank you, and have a good evening, even as we now engage in the next discussion. So let's have the questions, and then I can respond appropriately. Thank you.